BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at a very brief overview of traditional markets. Seems okay to me as far as I can see. So looks like S&P wants to trend up towards the top of the Bollinger Band, so a little bit further to run. Excuse me. We go back to the Dixie. Dixie pulled back into the trend line that was this descending triangle, so we managed to get support on that. Now we're moving back up again. This is probably going to take us up to the 105.2, so not a good look, I suppose, for much further continuation for anything. So again, with S&P, you might see that Bollinger Band retested. So if we just measure that, just to give it an example, we're talking just over 0.5% really of gains to be had. There's not much more to it than that. Our gold is still breaking out, so that looks good. We got a closure. Actually, no, we didn't actually, but currently the candle body is opened above the descending triangle. So it looks like a decent breakout to me. Probably going to take us up towards 2,000 and maybe even higher than that. So that looks good. So a very long time ago now, feels like over a month ago, probably more than that, I was talking about how stocks likely to peak and commodities likely to bounce. So like a rotation basically. So stocks going into cash and commodities. And looks like we're starting to see a little bit of that now. It's slow, very slow. So let's move this over to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is not the end of the world. So yesterday we were hoping for closures above the Bollinger Band center, which is what we got. We managed to get that. Obviously the Bollinger Band is pointing down. So today's closure needs to be above 27,100. The 200 exponential on the daily is where we're basically getting support on right now. So it's not the end of the world. It still has a position where it could move up from here. What do we have on the daily? Increased money flow. That's good. So it actually looks okay on the daily. It's not broken down yet. The 4 hourly. Let's talk about the 4 hourly. So the 4 hourly is surfing a 10 exponential, which is also usually a good sign. We've got a descending triangle forming, or at least a resistance trend line forming. We've broken out of that now and still holding above the 10 exponential. That is basically 27,200, give or take, with the center of the band being down here at 26,850. And the horizontal down here as well. So there's plenty of room for it to move, actually. Still wants to give the impression that it wants to move up. The pump signal was generated. It was generated at this level, 27,400, 500. So actually, you know, if we just admire what we've got here, we've got a pump up, we've got a consolidation from the pump. We've not broken down. We're still holding above relatively decent moving averages on both daily and on the 4 hourly. And so with that in mind, actually does point to further upside. Now obviously there is invalidations to all of this. Most people recognize that, but obviously, you know, there is no crystal ball that says definitely how it's going to go. Right now, statistically, it's more likely to actually bounce and go back up from here. I know that's ridiculous, but it's true. That's statistically more likely, at least by at least 65% likelihood that that's going to happen. So the odds are in favour of a bounce and a move up from here, but it's not a guarantee, all right? You know, and if we start to close below these moving averages, which would be below 27,100 on the daily, so that's a closure on the daily below that level, or on the 4 hourly, we see a loss of that 10 exponential. Then yeah, we probably do dive down into the upper 26,000s. And even then, right, we could still bounce around 26,800 based on the 4 hourly. That would be an appropriate entry as well to give it a shot. You know, the 4 hourly can bounce before the daily closes, so that's an okay scenario also, given the fact that we're still bullish while being above 26,800. So it's not bad. Let's just face it, it's not bad. So thinking about that the Bitcoin is positioned for further upside. Gold is positioned for further upside. S&P can give at least 0.5%, and the Dixie, while rising, is still, you know, relatively low. It's not broken out and gone crazy. It's still in a sideways channel. Yeah, and in all fairness, it is still on a wick basis a series of lower highs and lower lows at this moment in time, I still think that the Dixie does trend its way back up to 105.2, 105.3 at least before another rejection. So let's not hold our breath too much on massive moves on either side for any of these things that we're looking at. There is, from what I understand now, a potential pivot point where we do see consolidation for stocks, maybe further consolidation for Bitcoin, and dollar and gold actually trend up. Again, same analysis really for the most part on the larger picture, on the macro of the of all of these things, still the same as it's been for 4, 6, maybe even 8 weeks now. But it's a slow burn, I grant you that. I definitely grant you that. Right, I mean, there's not much more to say about it. Any altcoins you want me to look at, please feel free to send me a comment. I'll happily look at them if there's something worthy of saying. Outside of that, I just hope you have a nice day, really. There's nothing more, we're trading a sideways, boring market, but long story short, I do favour further upside and probably a revisit of this 200 simple moving average on the 4-hourly, and maybe even the holy grail of 28,500, and then rejection. Lower high. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.